Hi, all, good morning. So this is the demo session for mainframes. So mainframes is one of the technology. So it comes under like mainframes, Cobol JCL and DB2 and VSAM. And coming to mainframes, so the definition of mainframe is like so mainframe is in a central repository. So it's like a server. So the server is looks like this one. So it's not coming to another page. Yeah. So the server is looks like this. So the data is going to store it in this central data repository format. Okay. So this is a server. So like this server can be placed in it's like Mumbai or Hyderabad or it's in some way. So we are not able to see this server. So the data is going to store it in this central data repository. So this is how mainframe system looks like. And coming to why we are using mainframes and so what is the necessity? Okay. So this and all we are going to see here. So mainframes is a central data repository and it's an IBM product. So it's an IBM product and it works on mainly ZOS and Linux operating system. So currently which we are working as a Windows operating system, but this mainframes will work on only ZOS or Linux operating system. The main usage of mainframes is to process bulk data. It's like a large amount of data. In order to process the files concepts, right? Okay. In the files, there are some amount of data and you want to process. So the mainframes will help us. And also, so it's a very high performance system. If you want to process bulk data, so the performance is very high. And also, it will allow multiple users at the same time. Suppose there is a server, there is a server, there is a server. So you want to access this server like this, suppose, okay? The multiple users can access at the same time with this server. So if you have any username and password. So this is a server and these are the clients, okay? Client server architecture like this. So this is the main advantage. And another thing is, the very, very important thing is, it will provide an high security. So no hacking is possible. So the security is main thing. So nowadays, so that's why we are going with the mainframes, the industry and the companies. And the very important thing after that, so it's not an open source. So we need to purchase a license. So in order to use mainframes, the companies and all, they need to buy a license so that they can use mainframes. And so where and all we are using these mainframes? These mainframes we are using in a banking and insurance and retail and healthcare domains. Okay, banking in the sense, okay, there are a lot of banks here as well, like Bank of America, BOA and Bank of New York and Morgan Stanley, Santander. So there are a lot of banks. So not only Indian banks, so it's in US banks also. We are using in a mainframe. So most of the things like in US projects and UK projects, so 90%. So we are using in a mainframes concept. So this is about mainframes. So this is the advantage. So that is the reason the people and organizations are using in the mainframe. So it came in the 1960s, but still we are using. Okay, now you can understand. So how much demand and what is the use of this one. And this is the mainframe server looks like. Okay. Here we are going to store the data. So whatever the data we are entering And if we want to access the data, so everything it is going to get stored into this mainframe server. And in order to access this mainframe server, so everyone can access if we have a license. So multiple users can access at the same time. So here we have libraries. So that and all we are going to talk about what is the libraries and how the data is going to store. Okay. Next, coming to mainframes technology. So here we are going to learn Cobol, JCL, and DB2. So Cobol is nothing but common oriented business language. Here, after developing a Cobol program, if you want to execute, JCL is a mandatory. So without JCL, we are not able to execute our Cobol program. Yeah, DB2 is nothing but it's like one of the database system. So it's also IBM product only. So here we are going to use SQL concepts. Like if you know basic SQL, like select, insert, update, and delete. So that is enough for DB2. So we'll see how the Cobol looks like on JCL and how the DB2 is there. Okay. Yeah, again, Cobol is nothing but common business oriented language. Okay, so it's developed in 1960s and it is a structure based language. So it will follow just a structure. So we need to know the structure. Okay, so this is mainly used for to develop any business applications, not to develop any enterprise apps. So enterprise apps is nothing but it's like web applications and WhatsApp, Facebook. Okay, we are not using to develop this applications by using Cobol. So the main purpose of Cobol is develop business applications. Next thing, the program structure. So how the program looks like. Okay, so here we have a division. So if you know divisions, so inside the divisions we have a sections under paragraphs under statements under sentences. So it's like very common to English language. So how we are talking now, the same thing. If you know how to read and write English, so then 90% you can correlate it with our day-to-day English words with this program structure. So here coming to divisions, we have 4 divisions. So, okay, there is no change in a Cobol program. So it's like if you go with a Java, C, C++ or something. So every day, so the things will get update and we have to learn new things. So here it is not like that. So if you learn one time, so it's like in a one-time process. So there is no updates. The program structure also same, like if we are going to follow structure oriented programming, then the first thing is like the divisions, identification division. So you have to remember like this. Okay, IEDP. Okay, so I means identification division, E means environment division, and D means data division, P means procedure division. So these 4 divisions will include in a Cobol program. But in order to write any Cobol program, so identification division with program ID is mandatory. These are all optional, these 3, but based on requirement, we are going to use these 3 divisions. Okay. Okay, then if we want to define a variable name, okay, define variable name. So we are going to declare like this. Okay, 01 WS data, pick X of 20, value mainframe. Suppose if you want to store a string, so in C, C++ and all, so we are going to use int A, int B, maybe. Okay, like that we are going to use. In Java also, suppose int A, integer A, integer B. and string A, string B, like that. But here it is not like that. So 01 is a level numbers and variable name, and pick is a picture class. So hex, so here X will denote like, okay, it is a varchar. You can store string as well as a number, and 20 bytes you can store it here. So what is the value we are going to store? So the same way, suppose if you want to store numbers, the variable 01 and WS data pick is common. So instead of X, we are going to place it as 9. So 9 means numbers, X means alphabets, okay, that we are going to see. So these are the data types it is available. We have in a Cobol, like, so 9 means numeric, A means alphabet. So if you want to store only numbers, we are going to use 9, and A means alphabets. So if you want to store A to Z characters, and if you want to store any alphanumeric, so here if you see this one, weight is called 21. So characters is there as well as numbers is there. We are going to use X. If you want to store any plus and minus value, like sign values, we are going to use yes. If you want to use any decimals, the amount fields, okay, we are going to use V. So these are the data types. It is available. There is no change at all, okay, going forward also. 9, A, X, SV, okay. Mostly we are going to use 9 and X. Sometimes sign and V also, but alphabets we are not going to use anymore. And next thing is, okay, if you see this one, so this is a Cobol sample program. The screen looks like this one, okay. So this is a black and white screen. So if you observe this one, so it will start from, always it will start from 8th column, okay, 8th column. So I'll tell you why it is starting from 8th column and what are the areas and everything. But so just you can see, so the program look like this one, okay. If you want to print your name, if I want to print something, see here the division, identification division, I'm writing here identification division. Under we have program ID, so the program name we are going to write it here. After that, who is writing? Author, okay, this is common. And next thing is procedure division. Procedure division, we are going to write all the logics. Procedure division, we are going to write all the logics. And here we are going to write display. So display is nothing but I want to show something in a console, or I want to print something in a console. So display is the keyword. The name itself, it is there. Sorry. And display coding sheet structure. Suppose I want to print something, so that time we are going to use display, and then stop run. So these are the keywords, okay. Stop run. You want to stop your program execution, so we are going to use stop run here. So this is the Cobol program structure. So this is the Cobol program structure. We are going to use it. So in order to execute this Cobol program, so if it is a C or Java or something, what we are going to do is we are going to compile. So like Java, Java C, some keywords we are going to write it. But here, if you want to execute your Cobol program, we are going to use JCL. JCL is nothing but job control language. So we can use, if you know one JCL, so that is common for all the programs. Okay, here we are going to learn JCL. JCL courtesy, you can easily understand. Okay, so which one is a program? So program can contain divisions and program ID, so that you can easily understand. Okay, this is our Cobol program. And if you want to execute your Cobol program, we need to write or prepare one JCL. So JCL, it will start with a /, and here we have a job. So this is a job ID. I mean JCL name. Okay, MATEKSD. Okay, this is a job code. These first two lines are the job code. So job code in a JCL, job code is a mandatory in order to execute your program. Okay, so here we are going to write like, okay, so step 1, exec PGM equal to my program name. After that, sysout. Okay, so this step lib and load lib, okay, we are going to see in a future classes, like, so where my program is present, and sysout is nothing but, okay, whatever the values it is present, like this display we are going to write it, right? So these displays will come in, these displays will come and sit into a system output, okay? So this is common for all Cobol programs, okay? Just we are going to change it, just we are going to change program name over there, that's it. If you want to execute your sample program, just take this same JCL for all the programs, and the program equal to, you can give sample. So I want to execute another program, just to change this program name and execute this JCL, okay? The JCL is looks like this one. JCL can contains, okay, job code and DD names and step names, okay? And this is how it looks like, okay? There is no confusion. If it is a Cobol program, there are divisions and program ID and procedure divisions or something will be like that, okay? By seeing the code itself, we can understand, okay, this is a Cobol program. And how we can identify what is a JCL. So JCL is looks like this one. Here it contains job code and DD names and step names or something like this. And coming to DB2. So how DB2 code looks like this, okay? So the DB2 is like, okay, the basic SQL commands only. So how we are going to write it in our Cobol program in the sense, okay? So here, you know, we need to add exec SQL, end SQL. So in between exec SQL and end SQL, in between we are going to write our SQL code. Suppose here I am going to insert some values into student table. So you know the query, okay? Insert into student and student name and these values, okay? In order to write this query, we need to prepare this kind of SQL. After that, we need to write exec SQL and end SQL so that you can easily understand, okay, this is my DB2 or SQL code or something like that. So after executing this one, after executing this SQL query, we are going to evaluate, like we are going to identify whether our SQL is successfully executed or not. So that's why we are going to do evaluation here. If the evaluation is successful, like the SQL code is contains 0, that means successful. If it is 100 means, okay, there are some SQL codes we are going to learn in going forward classes. When 0, that is successful. It's like when 83, so duplicate row found, okay? When other, apart from this 0 and 803, we are going to abort this program so that we are able to understand, like, okay, the SQL is failing. So this is how this is a simple the simple structure. So anyway, we are going to learn these concepts like Cobol JCL, and DB2 in going forward classes. So this is a structure. So how DB2 looks like, and how JCL looks like, and how Cobol is looks like. Okay, this is what we are going to execute. Or this is sorry. These are the concepts we are going to learn in going forward classes. And next thing, so in real time, so now we don't have any so what to say, so we don't have any mainframe screen here. So what we are going to do is, so we have a Cobol online compiler. So if you want to execute our Cobol programs, or if you want to practice, what we need to do, so we need to go with the Cobol online compiler. So just go to www jdoodle.com here. So here I want to print something. I want to print something. I want to print something. See, I told you, right? So we have a divisions, identification division under program ID. Okay. The program name is hello world. So this is not mandatory. So data division, we are going to use it for to declare the variables. Okay. This we are going to see in a later. And procedure division. Procedure division, we are going to write our logics. I want to print something. So if you want to print something, the keyword is display. Welcome to MF batch 5. So what it will do? So as soon as if I execute this program, okay, execute this program, the control will come to procedure division. So it is a structure oriented programming. Okay, it will execute line by line. It will execute line by line. Okay, first it will execute this one, and in 8th line there is no lines. Okay, there is no records or something. So in 9th line, so if we have a stop run, it will stop it here. Okay, just try to execute this one. Just try to execute this one. See here, the output came. Welcome to MF batch 5. The same thing. So if you want to execute in our real-time screens, we have written this program. So we need to prepare a JCL. We need to prepare a JCL. So this is a JCL. We need to prepare like the first 5 lines. Okay, the first 5 lines we need to prepare. So instead of program name, instead of PGM name, okay, instead of PGM, COB001, what we are going to do is, so we are going to give just hello world. So that is a major difference. Okay, but here we don't have screen, so that's why we are going to practice everything. It is in a online compiler. But you can assume after writing this program, so we need to prepare a JCL for this to execute in a real time. But here it is not like that. Here we are going to execute by using online compiler. And I want to print again something. So it's very simple. Display hi. So now I'm trying to execute this one. So it will start from procedure division. It will execute 7th line and it will execute 8th and 10th. Just try to execute this. See here, we can able to see output in console. But this is very simple. See, there is no change in identification division and data division. So whatever the logic we are going to write it, we are going to use procedure division. Inside the procedure division, we are going to write our logics. If you want to perform arithmetic operations, we are going to write it here. Any logic, we are going to write it in procedure division only. See these keywords and all, these keywords, display, stop run, this and all, it's related to common English language only. So we can easily understand. So what is happening in this program? Okay, so I want to declare a variable. So if you want to, in order to declare a variable, we need to declare in a data division under working storage section. So what is the purpose of declaring a variable? We are going to see later. Okay, WS number. WS num is the variable. Pick 9 of 3. Pick 9 of 3. Okay. Just observe here. So if you want to declare any variable, we are going to use this format 01 WS number. So this is your wish. Pick is a common picture class. 9 means numbers. 3 means the size we can store. Okay. So here I want to move something. I want to assign something. Move 855, suppose 855 to WS number. Display WS number. So what is happening here? So first it will display welcome to MF batch 5, then display hi. Now we are moving 855 to WS number. This variable just we are moving. So move is a keyword. So like this, okay. There are few keywords, okay. There are few keywords. It's related to English language only. So you can easily understand. See, by seeing this statement itself, okay, you can able to understand. Okay, we are moving some value to this variable. Display. Finally, we are going to display this number. So this is how it looks like. Okay, this is a sample program. This is a sample program. Okay, this is a sample program. So we are going to practice like this. Okay, a lot and lot. We are going to practice more programs in going forward classes. Next thing is what I want to discuss. Yeah. So this one. So anyone can learn this program. Anyone can learn this language. There is no background like, okay, you are from MCA or BSc or BCom, whatever it is. But here, your dedication. So what we are expecting? Your dedication is a mandate. Wait, I will ask. I will give a chance to talk to you. Okay. Your dedication. Okay. But in this course, okay, like I'm going to provide like 30 to 45, like 35 to 40 classes. 35 to 40 classes. 35 to 40 classes. 35 to 40 classes. So I'm going to provide recording sessions too. Okay, it will come only who is going to register for these classes and going forward. Like after demos, there are 3 demos is available. Okay, it's for free. Those 3 demos. Yeah, that's it, guys. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now. Yeah, here I'm going to provide 2 to 3 interview questions. So you have to prepare answers for those questions. Okay. So if you prepare answers for those questions, so you can able to clear your interviews. So after completion of this course, you can easily. Okay. So that is my main motto. So I'll share the questions from tomorrow onwards. Like once the classes will get started, then I'm going to share the interview questions. So you have to prepare answers for those questions in a Word format or something, and you have to send it in a group. So there is a separate group for you guys. You can interact with your batchmates, as well as if you have any doubts or something, then I'm going to provide this. Yeah, this is about demo guys. So if you have any questions, you can ask me.